Good morning, YouTube. It has been a couple of days since I promised that I would give you guys my reaction to that letter about Dear Nick from Pearl, and also respond to all your comments, and see where these comments are going. So, to summarize the letter that Nick got in the mail, it was from Pearl, had a whole bunch of insults. It went to his address, and it was snail mail, and I put the pictures of the actual letter with very little redaction on them, like the place where Nick has worked, and Pearl's last name, which I don't know that Pearl's last name is real, because I have found that there's a actress by the same name that's like a classical film actress, like probably dead now, but some of these trolls, they will take the name of something that they're fascinated with and then call themselves that, and Pearl did the same. It's like maybe this is a real name, maybe Pearl shares the name of a famous actress, but I was erring on the side of caution. I can dox Nick Bravo's last name, because it's Bravo. He changed it to that a while ago, long time ago, and yeah, it was actually an homage to Nicolas Cage, if you guys didn't know, because of the acting prowess of Nicolas Cage, which I'm going to say right now, because this is the video for hot takes. Nicolas Cage has been the same person in almost every movie he's been in, and people give him a lot of accolades for being a great actor, but he's like the same. He's playing the same character in so many films. Let's see. Okay, I see 32 comments, but I will say that 3 comments were like invisible to me. I don't know if YouTube makes it so that I'm not allowed to see comments from somebody who has me blocked, but I don't have anyone blocked right now, so I should be able to see all comments. Maybe YouTube thought something was so outrageous that that nobody should see it. But I clicked on held for review and hit checks on a few comments that had words like retard and micropenis. So, let's see. This says sort my comments newest first. Let's see. I'm going to do, newest first, and then I'm going to read from the bottom, and then it'll be first comment in. That's the comment that I will read first, and that way you guys will hear me reply to you in order, and also I hope you pick up what I'm putting down as far as my opinion from my responses to your comments. This isn't very well prepared, because I did have some preparation, because I saw the comments coming in when they came in on my cell phone. But and I thought about some of the comments, but I haven't really prepared a script for this. This is a ramble. Okay, first is CRB Vegas, who says whoosh, which I figure I'm gonna give that a heart. I figure that means right over my head, right? Which, that's okay. it is okay for this stuff to go right over your head. Because it's a long drama that's hard to follow if you weren't there from the beginning. And it's okay to sit things out, sometimes, and just say, wow, not my monkeys, not my circus, Second is Jake Gibson. He says, this writer sounds like a brainwashed psychopath who can't better their own life, so they obsess over other people. Jake, that's a bit judgy of the writer of this, but I lean in that direction, but I wouldn't call this person a full-on psychopath, because I know the criteria for psychopathy. Obsessed, yes, there is a bulletin board system that has gone down and popped back up many times called the Corky Forum, that tracks Nick Bravo and all of his doings. And I've even tried to talk to those people before, but I didn't feel safe using their bulletin board system because it had me put in a password. I put in a trash password, and then that trash password didn't work, and they wanted me to put in another password and do this stuff. And I was like, are they trying to fish for like a password that I use in places for real? Is this like a fishing expedition? So I didn't trust their bulletin board system after being like, my account wouldn't work with them. And so it's like they just keep on asking for your password and it won't work. And then you're like, what do you do when your password doesn't work? You try all the passwords that you have in your memory, and you might try that one that you use on some other site, and then they got you. They fished you. So, yeah, they're obsessed with Nick Bravo on that website wherever it pops up, and if it goes down, they have some way of like archiving it to where they can just pop it back up somewhere else. So even if Nick attacks their host service for all of the stalking that happens of Nick on that, they'll just find another host. This has happened. Red says, well, that was bizarre. And Red's got a funny name because named in the letter was a person, a YouTuber that goes by the name of Blue. So I agree, it was kind of bizarre and over the top. Super Noob 17 says, my initial reaction was, holy shit, I haven't heard the name Nick Bravo in a dog's age. Okay. There's a lot of older YouTubers that people never hear about anymore. I remember the age of Renato, the king of YouTube, before The Amazing Atheist was the biggest person in my community. And then I remember Helionic Cider versus the Drama Tube, Casey Nunez. And Casey Nunez has really drifted away from where I am politically, but we're still kind of friends on Facebook, but he gets kicked off of almost every platform he's on because he's so out there. But yeah, nobody hears about them people anymore. He goes on to say, Super Noob 17, he says, I remember very little lore on this guy, just that he had a fucked up face, wanted to be an actor, did some scams, and used the money to fix his fucked up face, got caught, and found guilty, and had to go to prison. I gotta click to read more. As far as the letter went, my initial reaction was that I consider trolling art and it seemed more like harassment than trolling, absolutely inartful. More like harassment when they got to the 12 steps, though. That was pretty funny and artful. Okay. Whether or not he deserves what the fuck this weird shit is, I have no idea. It's been a long time, and I don't remember the exact nature of his crimes, but weird threatening letters seem like a shitty thing to deal with. Okay. I appreciate the perspective of this guy. I like the perspective of inartful trolling. I feel that's the reason why the Ponage Olympics was canceled by Richard Coughlin. If I'm picking up what he's putting down. Basically, people thought they knew what he meant by ponage, which was while insulting artfully the person that you are addressing, you also address their position on something. You know, their argument is then destroyed, not just insult. And a lot of what he got for submissions for the Ponage Olympics was just insult. You know, and what he wanted was, you know, people overturning arguments and turning them on their heads and all that, and that wasn't happening. And it was very hard to wade through all of the insult comic videos and just plain insulting videos to get to the ones that actually were ponage. So I get that trolling is an art, and if there's things that you need to do along the way to check all the boxes to score the point, I think that this letter wasn't doing it right. So I appreciate Super Noob 17's perspective there. I'm an addiction counselor, and I don't like the 12 steps as they are, and so I appreciated the rewriting of them. In fact, in my city, in Denver, there is a group called Freethinkers in AA who have rewritten the 12 steps to have no spiritual component. So I don't think that the 12 steps themselves are sacred, that anything in the AA big book can't be rewritten and parodied, just like, you know, I don't think that the Bible itself is beyond ridicule. You know, you can rewrite stuff and it can be a good framework from within to work with, you know, just like, you know, like coloring books give you the lines to color within. Let's see. Tony Powell wants to talk to me in Spanish. I'm going to use Google Translator to translate this shit from Spanish. Spanish to English. My Spanish isn't that good. Alright. So, in English it says, appreciating such a beautiful woman. 2-to-1 squats are about XX18 like, one many and a good workout. It shows that there are very good results. Greetings from the CD of the world. Slab mortals had appreciated such a beautiful... I think this is like one of those like ads for click on my OnlyFans or something. That's not a real comment. Motherfucker, he got me because he put it in Spanish. Mr. Unite for the Children says, "Curiouser and curiouser," cried Alice. I can appreciate the literary reference there. Sugarland Wren says, first reaction, are we sure Happy Cabby is dead? And Happy Cabby used to be like the nemesis of Nick Bravo prior to Happy Cabby's demise a few years ago, which I was not very mournful upon. And my first reaction on Sugarland Wren's first reaction was, are you talking about the letter writer or me, the person making the video, because I'm getting fatter and my beard is getting grayer? You know? There's that. But no. Happy Cabby is dead. But his legacy lives on in the Corky Forum. Logical Empiricist, one of the people who I had to check to release his comments, he said, Happy Cabby was a friend of mine. He was always good to me and made good videos about the raging Bravo. What really happened between Cabby and Bravo we will never know, but the story of the survivor Nick alone does not posit the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay. And then Nick Bravo replies to Logical Empiricist, this speaks to your perversion and general lack of good character. Which, I don't follow the logic of that, but yeah, there are many people who were friends with Happy Cabby. He had like 30,000 subscribers, and he was very connected in the YouTube community. And there are many people who hated him. I was one of them, you know. With years after his death and him not being around, I've kind of softened on that because he's dead. There's no reason for me to hold on to hatred. But I'll say that Nick Bravo is also in that camp of people that used to really hate him. And Nick Bravo knew him in real life, and I did not. And I'll say Nick Bravo's take on him probably has the perspective of knowing someone in real life more than somebody who only knew someone on the internet. We put these videos out, and you only see this much, right? Look at like what's peeking out on the side here. I have this this shelving thing like just off screen right there. You hardly ever see that because I usually do this. That way you can't see it, right? And then you don't know what's over there. It's a mess. It's just like an ADD doom box where people like have that one drawer in their kitchen and they throw everything on it. That's what that shelf has become. I need to fucking clean that shit up. So yeah. To say that because somebody is dead, we need to always be mindful that the people that are survivors might not be telling the whole truth, because we're only getting their perspective and not theirs. I mean, I can see that as a valid perspective, actually. You know, take everything that you hear here about Happy Cabby with a grain of salt. I'm the guy who had beef with him on the internet. Don't just listen to me, you know. Listen to other people. If you've never met Happy Cabby and you're new to the internet and you're trying to figure out who is who, I'm one of the people that didn't like him. He had like 30,000 subscribers of people who did. Next is a straight comment from Logical Empiricist. It says, Nick Bravo had that one coming. He provokes the trolls times after times and doc drops, death threats, and cringes his audience times and times again. All he needed to do was change his name, stay off the internet, and get a real fucking job. Too much for Mr. Bravo? Then don't complain about the trollery. Okay. So, as far as the demands in this comment, change his name. If Nick Bravo were to change his name legally, there would be a notice somewhere, and there's requirements that publicly it has to be posted in a newspaper or something, and the trolling over the years from the Corky Forum, the stalking, has proven that if he just comments on a news article somewhere by creating a whole new account and just leaves a comment, they find it. They have spiders that are crawling the internet to find any mention of him, right? So if he were to change his name, he would still be found by the forum and still be trolled. That is not something that is like true as far as what's it going to take for people to stop this internet war with Nick Bravo. I've seen this with Brett Keane. Brett Keane changed the name of his channel so many times, and even once had a channel where he masked his voice, and because he had somebody that was a friend of his that was not a true friend, who let the trolls know, they were able to take his voice and unmask it with like a reverse filter, and they were able to see, oh yeah, this is just Brett Keane sounding like a chipmunk, trying to make a new channel as a chipmunk. And so they went ahead and they flagged that one down, and Brett Keane went through like 50 different channels, so he could not ever restart himself on the internet for the longest time, until Happy Cabby protected him from flagging by talking to YouTube, and also using his own channel's invulnerability to flagging to partner a channel for Brett Keane for a while. This is part of the long internet history and lore of this whole thing. You guys are probably not following very well, because this is over the span of 15 years now. It's a long ass story. Anyways, Secular Cats. Before I go to Secular Cats, let me talk about the other points in this. Says all he needed to do was change his name, stay off the internet. The internet is a great source of entertainment for a lot of people. Great source of being able to interact with people, and everybody needs connection, right? Everybody has, I would say, an inalienable right to be able to talk to other people. You go insane if you don't, right? A lot of people, because of this pandemic, did. So I will have clients in my psychotherapy practice for forever now, because people spent 2 years not interacting with people. And they're all insane. And then he says, and get a fucking real job. So some of the people that are stalking Nick Bravo seem to want to really, really want him to have manual labor for a job, and not any of the pursuits that he would like to have. I'm going to go ahead and say pursuit number one, writing. They've tossed him as a writer, and they say that's not a real job. Many people make their living writing copy, writing books, writing, it is a job, and it is real. And some of the manual labor that they might want him to do, like the job that was the target of that letter, are manual labor. Like there was nothing about that job that they wrote or that they notified his manager at his job. There was nothing about that job that was glorious, right? The equivalent of making beds in hotel rooms, you know? There's nothing glorious about that. Scrubbing toilets. If you're going to follow him to the job where he's going to have to, every once in a while, scrub a toilet and say that that's not the real fucking job that he deserves worse than that, what the fuck? You know? You don't want him to redeem himself in the community. People have made a big deal about him being on disability. The letter itself says that, he's on disability and they don't like that. Motherfucker has a genetic disorder which has altered the shape of his face from birth that he wanted to get fixed. Let's see. He does have a hearing problem. He has hearing aids that makes him near deaf at times. He has legitimate reasons for being on disability. I won't get too far into his disabilities, but basically, like, this is the ultimate example of punching down. Just saying, like, you're picking on somebody who is really disabled and saying he's not disabled enough, he needs to be working manual labor. That is harder than folding sheets and scrubbing toilets. Like, what the fuck? And to be following someone for years after committing a crime that, you get sentenced by a judge to, like, some time in prison, some restitution, and you get sentenced to a tail, right? Probation, parole. And sometimes if, like, you're a certain type of offender, you have to be on a registry for certain things. That's what you get sentenced to. This mob of internet trolls has decided that to make Nick Bravo's sentence be, for the rest of his life, whatever job he finds, they're going to try to contact his employer and get him fired, no matter what it is. And then they'll say, we don't want you on disability. You don't deserve to be on that. And then you need to get a fucking real job, no matter what the job is. I mean, the job that was attacked in the letter was a pretty menial job. He wants to turn his life around and maybe do some counseling for, diversion programs at the level that he could possibly get to as a disabled person who's, middle-aged and, doesn't have a lot of time in his life to be, attaining a lot of the higher education it would take to get, really big into that career. He's thinking about turning around doing some counseling, like, hey, don't do what I did, and stay on the right track, And they fuck with him on that, and they say, oh, you don't need to be around people because you're a bad influence on people. No matter what the job is, they'll fuck with him on it. And part of the problem there is I'm not talking about just one person, but I'm treating it like one person. But, like, there is division within this trolling network as to what they want him to do. So if he goes one way, half of them will attack him there. If it goes the other way, half of them will attack him there. So it's not really like the cognitive dissonance of one person who would want him to, follow one path. It's basically the trolling happens from different camps that don't really coordinate well, and so whatever he does, he's fucked. Because they all share information like his docs on that website, such that he can get letters now from trolls. Let's see. Secular Cat says Pearl should eat more fiber. I mean, I like the gist of that. I mean, everyone should eat more fiber. Oh, yeah. But, yeah. Maybe Pearl, especially when writing that letter, needed some. Gen X says, what? And I'm like, yeah! What? Marcus says, some folks are irreparably sick. Sorry for whatever happened to turn them into such trash, but at least they won't be around forever. I guess they're a disability collecting loser who must be in constant pain to act so disgustingly. I don't think that just because someone's internet trolling that they have nothing better to do. A lot of people, when they get home from their very gainful employment and very professional jobs and, other responsibilities that are very laudable, they just love to, watch Jersey Shore. They love to do things that are debauchery. Some people like to do it with a Collins glass full of cognac. And, you can never tell. So, some of them, yes. They are in their mother's basement, in their underwear, dick-stained orange from the Cheetos they've been eating while masturbating. Yes, but you can't judge when these people are all pretty much anonymous, I will judge their diction and their grammar, though. Like, that gives me a little bit of a hint of where their status is in life. So polish up your grammar, people. That way I don't just assume that you are, B, basement dweller. I will think more of you as a person who is an upstanding citizen who saw somebody who's still on the internet after they committed a crime and want to take out a little bit more vengeance because you have this sense of community. So yeah, proper punctuation counts for a lot. Marcus goes on to say, speaking of which, have you seen that old fart Poseidon Kicklodon around? Not in about a couple months. I don't know how old he actually is, but now that we've said his name in a video, he might appear, speak of the devil. Nick Bravo replies to that, I think that guy died in a sex with livestock accident. Hogs don't have safe words. Ouch. Ouch, Nick. You're not doing yourself any favors. Shit. Okay. So, Admiral Six Killer, Bruce, he says, I'm declining. And I will say this. Many times, many more than what people actually practice, many times it is okay to just not have an opinion on something. I've picked a few internet dramas that I just felt like at the time I was not interested, and or I had something going on in my life that I could not be bothered. I started this year trying to do a video a day, and this month I failed miserably because real life kind of really bared down on me, and I had a lot to do, and so I haven't had time to even this video. I'm going to say has been delayed by like 2 days because nobody's been commenting. Not a lot of people on this video. Like, as soon as the comments tapered off, I should have made this video. but real life, you know. But yeah, you don't have to dig for days to learn the entire context of an internet drama. You can just pass. It's healthy. Next comment from C Beach. He says, "Keep it in the internet ring. This is borderline in real life harassment. Disavow." Okay, I agree that this thing that has happened to Nick Bravo is a parallel to what happened to Thunderfoot, where Thunderfoot had internet drama, and it spilled into people contacting his employer, which could have affected his livelihood, and in his case could have gotten him jail time. I will call it in real life harassment, in that they have made it perfectly clear with the number of employers in a row that Nick Bravo has had that have been contacted by these trolls. And in this letter, it says that they have a video that they've made, like a montage of Nick Bravo, and they're going to send it to any prospective employer in the field that he's chosen to try to turn his life around and give back in, like low-level counseling. They're going to send it to everyone in his area so that he has no chance of employment. That's pretty weird. I mean, I hope Nick Bravo goes ahead and makes videos saying that he's going to be, a lawyer, and then he's going to be a nurse, and then he's going to be a firefighter. So they just have to send the video to fucking everyone, right? But yeah. Blue responds to C Beach saying, "Corky calling others P words with no evidence means he deserves this." I believe Blue says P words for pedos. That would be the worst of the P words, I suppose. And I don't know who Nick Bravo called the P word, but I will say that I have seen the evidence for Happy Cabby's proclivities. That, it wasn't just the feet thing. It was young feet. And sometimes it was Asian feet, because Asian women sometimes just look younger to people from our culture. And that's why it came across as just Asian feet. But it was really young feet. And yes, he did approach young people for those feet pics. And can't say that I know of any in real life physical stuff, but I do know of Happy Cabby's online proclivities towards being a type of P word. And if there's other people who are being accused of a P word that Blue is referring to, maybe I didn't see that Nick Bravo video, but I can imagine Nick Bravo calling a lot of people that just as a passing slander, where it means a lot more to the person that gets slandered that way than it did to him. Because people throw that around on the internet, and they shouldn't. C Beach replies, "Not an excuse." Again, disavow. And Blue says, "He's remorseless felon. He's calling others the P words with no proof. He lies with every breath and is a real threat to young women." Okay. I'll go ahead and ask Nick directly if he has any remorse for what happened. But it's my perspective on this that at the time when Nick Bravo was homeless in a van trying to become an actor in the Hollywood area, he was befriended by someone else who was a YouTuber named Peace in Christ Alone, real name Tim Marais, or Maris, I think that's how you pronounce it. But that guy was in real life a realtor who led Nick Bravo through all of the things that he did to become a felon by forging his name into the ownership of a dead person's house and then selling that house. That entire scheme was cooked up by the guy who was a realtor, because Nick Bravo had no fucking idea what he was doing. Nick Bravo was just the patsy who was on camera signing things in the office that you sign things to take over property from people. And it was his signature and his bank accounts and everything. But when the money got split, 50-50, and videos were made with stacks of money with the other guy in it, this internet troll group decided to just follow Nick Bravo around and say that he's the remorseless one. The other guy faced no punishment at all. Even though he's clearly in the videos enjoying the money with Nick Bravo, and they're saying that they got this business relationship and all that. All of those videos are out there, but it's the one who was the patsy who is the one that they're deciding to troll for life. The other guy, he's in Rancho whatever the fuck in California, in real estate still, fucking things up, and no one's following him around. And I tend to think, this is just my opinion, that part of the Corky Forum, the group of trolls that are following Nick around, is Tim Marais, just with a different persona. And there was a, I'm gonna say, hilarious video that was on World Star Hip Hop of video of Tim Marais attacking Nick Bravo, and it's hilarious from the perspective of, we were all watching a fight where Tim Marais attacks him, and then some big black dude comes to save the day and it fucking fucks up Tim Marais. That shit was hilarious, but it was horrifying to Nick Bravo, right? He's the one who was attacked. He's a disabled guy, and Tim Marais is not disabled. Coming to attack him and punch him and drag him through the street, and what did that random big black dude see? A guy attacking a disabled person, and so he just jumped into action and fucked him up. So yeah, that video exists. It's out there. And a lot of times this is just like C Beach says, this is in real life harassment. Tim Marais was not happy with the fact that Nick Bravo was thinking about doing things to out Tim Marais, and so he went to the halfway home, which was the last stage of his prison sentence, and decided to stalk him, and then in real life attack him physically, assault him in order to shut him up. And the trolls don't follow it that way. They don't see that, like, Nick was the patsy, the real criminal, the mastermind of it all, had no criminal charges brought against him, And part of the reason for that was the real mastermind of it all paid for Nick Bravo's lawyer so that his name would be kept out of things. It's really hard to follow this whole thing. But they pick the disabled guy, the patsy, to troll forever. They didn't pick the if they were truly like noble trolls, they'd be finding peace in Christ alone, and they would never leave him alone. Alright. Next one. Happy Jesus 123. Haven't seen you in a while. In addition to his hearing problems, Corky suffers from micropenis. He deserves his tardbucks. Also, Corky probably wrote this letter. He will do anything for attention. Nick Bravo did not write the letter. In fact, the information that you would need to figure out where the letter originated from, it was on the strip, the UPC type code. You can I put that in a picture on the video that I made, and then I redacted that so you guys wouldn't be able to trace back the neighborhood that maybe Pearl sent the letter from. But I did leave the stamp that said St. Louis, Missouri. I get that could be faked in some way, but some of it might take like some real travel to do that. Nick's not in a place to travel right now. Because he's trying to hold on to a job that these trolls want to ruin for him. Even though they say he deserves to do a job like that. Wow. Tardbucks. That's... I imagine that's Happy Jesus' way of saying disability. Blue says, good letter. Corky deserves this and much more. What I'll say about that is in line with the perspective of a lot of what Blue does on the internet. I would expect this perspective from Blue or Dragnot Silvis or a lot of people who they don't let go. They're like little internet pit bulls, really. Duckzilla replies, seriously, no, this is incredibly creepy. Nobody ever deserves this level of harassment. You are unhinged if you support behavior like this. I will say that there have been instances where real life things should have been done. I myself have reported a nurse for being anti-vax and making anti-vax content prior to this pandemic, mind you. But the Patriot nurse, I've reported her to nursing boards in real life to say, look at what she's peddling. These products that she's saying do things that they don't. I've reported that nurse to nursing boards, and she can't work in certain states because of that. And I feel good about what I did. And yeah. This one, though, this is like years after the fact, and people have taken it upon themselves to be the executioners of a sentence enhancement of you will never have a better life ever again because you tried to steal a dead person's house and sell it, because you tried to get rich quick and you followed the instructions of somebody who took you under their wing and made you part of their little criminal syndicate. That's basically what it is. Let's see. I'll say there are entire channels dedicated to following people as lulz cows and Blues has been one. The Jason Burns report, it's very much within the scope of what I would think Blue would think about this, for him to say that Corky deserves this and much more. Dougzilla says, I don't know, but this seems really creepy to me and honestly makes me realize how many people don't have lives outside of the internet. I mean, even if you think Nick is a bad guy, to spend your time going this far is very weird to me. What I'll say about that is, part of this is an attempt to not spend your time on the internet. I mean, it was snail mail, it was a very misguided, I think, attempt to not be on the internet so much by doing things in real life, but, it was just words until it was contacting his employer. If it was just the 12-step thing, it would have been like low-level funny harassment. Nikki Snow in a edited comment says, I am personally confused at best. Completely lost would be more like it. But since you asked for an opinion, I'll venture a guess. I don't know the parties involved at all, so I might be missing the context, nor do I care to research. Nick Bravo. But several possibilities came to mind. It felt like an AI writing it at some points, or perhaps Nick themselves, to gain a mysterious, if somehow wronged, mysterious if confusing attention. However, the most likely explanation is a damaged mind thinking they were somehow wronged from something Nick did or said. That's the thing. This isn't somebody who was a personal victim of this, I don't think. This is just a group of people who followed Nick around to troll him and harass him before he did that, because there were other things that he did and said on the internet, and he wronged the tribe that they were a part of. Nikki goes on to say, there was an appeal to a many in the letter, but it feels like a bit contrived to make the Pearl character appear more powerful than they probably are. I can tell you, if I received this letter, I'd have a good laugh and go on about my life. I would not let it affect me, because no one who has ever the slightest authority or pull on my life would write this. Unfortunately, there are many people, Nikki. There are. And the forum is full of characters that, it would be an impossible catfish for someone to have been that prolific. Just completely impossible for the Corky forum to just be one person. At least 5, but given the YouTube commenters that are not necessarily Corky forumers, but just YouTube commenters, I'd say 20. And then as far as being able to affect his life, well, they track down every place that he ever tries to work, and they try to tell the employer that he's a bad person, and that he's a felon, and that he did bad things, and that he's a danger to all of the other employees. That's an effect on his life. Let's see. Badger says, damn, that's one letter that's going to be in a police file real soon, is about the only response I have to that. I understand where Pearl is coming from with regards to some of the shady things that Nick has done and served time for. And that's the point. He served time for that shit, and time to let it go. Trolls, as for the suitable employment aspect of things, many a thief has become an outstanding thief taker. Many a hacker has become head of security, and many an addict has become a successful counselor who saved lives through their work. Bring on that discussion. Yes, the fact that Nick wants to turn around and keep people from falling into the pitfalls that he has in the past, that's a good thing. And that's a good gainful employment that I've seen a lot of people turn their lives around with. 40% of the addiction specialists in Colorado have something on their record that would keep them from employment in other places related to drug charges. And so it takes a long time for them to get credentialed because they have to jump through more hoops with the board that they're a part of. Koloth, the Klingon Pawn Star, says, "You're starting to look a little like Brett Keane." Ouch, man. I don't have the proper sunglasses. I have my laser protective sunglasses. Hold on. How's this? Hold on. Actually, my channel intro video, which is still featured on my actual channel, was inspired by Brett Keane's intros. Kind of a spoof of them. Let's see. Last comment. Bum number 1. This letter is objectively creepy and malicious, but I do think Nick is still his worst enemy by far. I've never seen such an underachiever that at the same time is delusional enough to think that he did everything right, like he said in the video. Before long, he'll become an old and frail with nothing to his name except funny rage videos. I unironically think that's the saddest part. I think a lot of us are our own worst enemies. I mean, if my goal was to make a video every day, I've shot myself in the foot this month. But yeah, I think Nick sometimes is his worst enemy by feeding the trolls by responding to them. And I know the trolls don't want to hear me say that because, you know, maybe Nick will follow my advice and just, like, make content that he wants to make and quit responding to them. You know, don't feed the trolls, sort of thing. And I know in his case, it has not worked. He's been gone off the internet for years and then tried to come back and then they find him. The whole time he was in prison, the Corky forum was still flourishing. But yeah, I think we all need to do some searching as to what would be less self-destructive. I don't think that Nick always is a person that is delusional in the way of thinking that he did everything right. But catch people at different moments. Sometimes they're defensive and sometimes they're more reflective. And then which one do you think stays up in a video that doesn't get flagged down, and then gets repeated in like chopped up mashups with Nick? It's always the one that has him being more self-righteous and screamy. Let's see. Before long, he'll become old and frail with nothing to his name except funny rage videos. That's a lot of us. That is a lot of us. I'm trying in my life to maybe have something a little bit better than that, and that's at times why I don't come through on my promises to the internet, because I have a sense of priorities. But I think in that sense of priorities, maybe with regards to the video that was mailed to Nick Bravo in the first place, yeah, maybe something a little bit more constructive could have been a better use of time. It did get me to talk for like an hour on this, so yeah, there's that. But this is just my reflective time that I've let you guys in on. So I guess just to state my own personal opinion on the letter and the trolling of Nick Bravo in general, it places him in a catch-22, where they've left him nothing to do but make YouTube videos because he's so isolated, and yet they're telling him to do menial jobs that they're just going to try to find the employer, contact them, and ruin the job. And because they don't all act in unison with their plan, they actually work to defeat themselves as far as any real strategy in leading Nick to doing better in life. So they are their own worst enemy as well. Because, you know, whatever point there is to trolling him, they are self-defeating in. Because, you know, what one wants, the other one is trying to push against. You guys know that that's not the only thing he's received via mail, right? I think the can of tuna was the weirdest one. The can of tuna. Like, to just like ship something via Amazon and it be just like a can of tuna to some that one, whoever sent that one, that was weird. That was weird. But I'd say, yeah, if you're contacting someone's employer, you need a better reason than what's going on here with Nick, and also, you know, what went on with Thunderfoot in the same vein. There are instances where you should contact someone's employer or the board that they are beholden to, or the dean of whatever school they're teaching at or whatnot. There are valid times to do that, and I don't think this is one. And that's my perspective. There are absolutists like Sea Beach in the comments here who says, you know, keep it in the ring on the internet, and there are even people who say keep it on the YouTube ring instead of going to other parts of the internet for the fight. You know, people who are a little bit more strict with their keep it in the ring than even Sea Beach. But for me, my perspective is you need a really, really good reason to try to reach out and touch someone beyond the internet. Myself, if I knew about child abuse or elderly abuse, I'm a mandatory reporter for that, and I would reach out and contact the appropriate people. If I knew that someone was a danger to themselves or others, I would go ahead and act on that. But I don't think any of that is the case here. I don't see crimes in progress. Nobody's attacking me personally in ways that are beyond the pale. So, I really do think that letter was maybe over the top, and yeah, that's my take on it. Thanks to everybody who commented, even people who I might disagree with. I see your perspective and I see where you're coming from. Thanks for the conversation.